Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. This weekend I started to think about my videos for the upcoming week and I wanted to make some gift tags, and these were the little tags I wanted to make for just going on birthday gifts and like little bags and things. And I liked it so much that I punched and stamped a lot of the images, and it's from the Time for Tags kit. And I loved this one for happiest birthday because for male tags I thought that one would be great. You can use it for female cards as well and for female tags, but I just thought I could make that work for whatever tags I wanted. I love this little baby one here too. And I also like that they've got the to and the from that you can put on the back. So I got myself all set and ready to make some tags, and while I was making them I thought actually that'd be quite cute on the front of a card, and you know how I like matchy things. So what I came up with was a really simple concept and a really simple card set off by the DSP. And when you give a card and a gift, you know your tag is gonna match. You could, if you wanted as well, make your gift bag out of the matching DSP. But I just thought that was so easy and so simple. So this is what I'm going to make for you today. I'm not going to make it the same colours. I'm going to make a more masculine one. And I've chosen Night of Navy for my colouring. And one of the little images I've already stamped. And I'm going to show you what I used on the second image. I just used some of my blends and I coloured the icing on the cake, let me get this, to match the DSP and the cardstock that I was using. So because I want to use Night of Navy, I've chosen my Night of Navy pens, and I'm just going to show you how I coloured in the icing on here. With the lighter pen, I just did I didn't do the candle, and I didn't do this little, like the swirls or the little pieces of icing on the edge. I just really simply went down and did the cream in the middle, oops, the very edge of the cake and the top, and that was all. Then I got the darker colour, and I'm only using the little bullet end because this brush end is just a bit too thick for the lines that I'm doing. And I just went over the candle, and you can see I just did that line a bit too long. So what I'm doing is getting the lighter one again, and I'm just going to blend over it so you can't really tell that it's gone a bit too long. There we go. And then I used one of my lighter yellows. This is the Light Daffodil Delight, and I just coloured the sponge in. I thought it would also be quite nice if you used like the crumb cake, so that it was more of a light brown sponge. And you could use, for a chocolate one, you could use like the early espresso as well. That would look quite cool. And then I didn't want to introduce too many more colours, so for the little plate that the cake's sitting on, I just used this, which one is this? Light Smoky Slate, and just did the plate. So you can see it's really easy stamping and really easy colouring. Nothing difficult about the colouring at all. And for the little light on top of the candle, I used the dark Mango Melody because I didn't want it to be the same colour as the sponge. So that's all the colouring. And then I used the matching punch. And I've only just bought this punch, and I only just got the Hostess set for the Time for Tags. And this is a set that you can only buy as a hostess. So if you place a larger online order, you can order it, or if you host a party or like a stamping evening, then you can order it as well. So it's not one that's for sale for everybody in the annual catalogue, but I just think it's really cool. So here's the punch that matches. And this does match other things in the catalogue as well. This is not a host punch. Okay, and then you can see how easily it lines up. You're going to have a little edge all around. So just try and make your little white edge sort of even. Let's do the other one as well. And then we'll be using one of these for the card and one for the tag. There we go. Pop that back. And this is garbage. Okay, so let's make the tag first. So we're going to need this, and then we're also going to need, let me see where I've put my little pieces. Here they are. We're also going to need 2 rectangles, or if you wanted to do circles, or you could do squares, whatever shape you wanted, but I've chosen rectangles. And I've used my rectangle stitched framelit dies, and what I did was I chose 2 of them. I found one that I thought would be a good size for the tag, and then I'll put it back and then you can see. And then I just chose the next largest one. So there was nothing complicated about the way I chose them. I chose one for the size of the tag and then the next one up. And I cut out in the Night of Navy 2 of the smaller rectangles, and in Whisper White I did 2 of the next size rectangles, and then I cut a little bit of DSP, and this was cut at 2 3/4 by 2 inches. Now let's put these together. Just find my snail. Here we go. You can use any of your adhesives. You don't have to use snail. You can use Tombow. You can use tear and tape if you prefer that. It really doesn't matter. So I'm just putting a little bit of snail top and bottom and a tiny bit in the middle. You don't need a lot of adhesive for it. And then I just lined up the tag piece so that it fit on, and I had a nice little border at the top and a nice one at the bottom. And let's do the same with this one. It really is an easy way to make a card. Okay, so one of my little tags is going to be for the actual tag for the gift, and so I'll make that one first. On the white rectangle that you've cut out, this is going to lay on top, but we're going to attach just a little piece of DSP horizontally across. Don't put tape right up to the edges, because then it will stick out over the side of your card. And all I did was just sort of eyeballed it roughly in the middle, roughly so it was straight, and it's easy with this because I've already got lines down it. Okay, and then this I'm just going to attach to the top. Just make sure I get it in the middle. There. Okay, now for the ribbon part, I didn't want sort of a fancy colour or anything, so what I used was the white flax ribbon. It would also look quite nice with this polka dot ribbon, but I'm going to use the flax ribbon for now. And then I just cut myself a piece. Let me find where I've hidden my little snips, excuse me. I'm just going to cut that off. And to attach the ribbon, you just need to have a little hole here. You can use a triple punch, this little oval, if you want to. I'm going to use for mine, because this ribbon's a little bit thicker, I'm just going to use just an ordinary hole punch. It's not a Stampin' Up one, and it's not particularly good, to be honest. It's not very sharp. It often leaves a little piece in the bottom, but at the moment with Stampin' Up, we don't have a punch this size in just a hole punch. Okay. So you see I have to sort of wiggle that round to get it to cut right through. I did try with some of our smaller punches, but it was too small for this width of ribbon. Okay. So then I never quite know whether to put this in from the front or from the back. And it doesn't matter as long as you do the same for both. Let me just take, no, I don't want it to go that way. I think I want it to go from the front to the back. So it's just easier to loop through that way. I'm just going to loop it through this little piece here. Just make sure that the ribbon is laying flat. Just pull these little pieces through. I probably will cut this down a little bit as well. So I won't know until I've got it ready and made. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of the baker's twine from the Come Sail Away suite, just because it's got navy. It's also got crumb cake as the other colour. It's not navy and white, it's navy and crumb cake. And so you could do all your little designer pieces in crumb cake with this paper and use this ribbon, and that would look really cool. And then I'm just going to tie a bow, and I tend to tie my bows upside down so that when I finish them, the tails hang that way. Some days they go the other way, some days they go this way. And I worked out that today is to tie the ribbon upside down. So there we go. Okay, so that's our tag for the gift, and I'm just going to pull that tail down a little bit, and they look roughly the same length, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so that's our tag for the tag that goes on its own. Let's make the tag on the card. You make it just the same way, except we're not going to add this piece of DSP. So I'm just going to take this on. And once you've made one tag, no, it's really quick to make the other. Once you've got it how you like it. Okay, then I'm just going to put that little circle in again. Oh, there we go. I told you it wasn't a very good punch. Okay, then we'll just find another piece. And I don't know how long I want this, just because I don't want it to stick off the end of the card so much. So I'll put it in, but I'll probably end up changing the sizes. And I think on the other one I went from the front to the back, so I'm going to do the same. This is quite a stiff ribbon, this flax. It's not like a soft ribbon that you can manipulate really quickly and easily. It just doesn't have as much give in it as the softer ribbons. There we have, I just had that in a little knot there. And I'm only doing mine so that I don't see the hole. That's why I'm doing it this way. You can't pull too tight, else it will make its own little hole or tear through the hole, just like that, see? Okay, now if that happens, what I'm going to do is, because this is going on the card, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape over the back. I'm just going to get my tearing tape. And that only happened because this ribbon is a little bit tough. Okay, so nobody's going to see this. So I just put in that over there, and the bottom of it I'm just going to fold up. I'm not going to take the backing off. I'm just going to fold it up so that I can get that ribbon through again. So let's try again. See, there's never a problem. If something tears, if something doesn't work out just how you thought it would, you can always just fix it. Oh, I pulled the tape off that time. It doesn't want to go through, does it? See if I can make it like this and then tie it through. No, I don't think so. I don't want to have to make a new one, so I'm just going to carry on as though that was across the top. It's a little bit more fiddly now, but that's okay. Okay, so it's going to go that way. Go like that. And then I'm just going to add that onto the card. this, pull it down a little bit more, do it like this, and because it doesn't want to play nicely, I'm just going to tuck that little bit in there, or I might even cut it off. I'm just going to add that like that, and then I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape over the back to hold it on. There. And that will just hold it enough so that when it's on the card, it looks exactly the same as the tag. Okay, now I just need a little bit of the baker's twine to go around it. Let's see if it's a tie it upside down one again. Yeah. Just make sure that they're nice and straight. And again, I'm not going to cut those because I think the length of them is just fine. Okay, so let's make the card. It's a really simple, basic size card. It's just our normal 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it up 4 1/4. And then I've cut 2 pieces of Whisper White card, and they're cut at 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and there's going to be one for the outside and one for the inside. And you can see that I've left quite a big border on this. Let's pop the one on the inside in. It's not going to go horizontally, it's just that I like to do it this way so that I can see that the corners are roughly the same, and then I know that my card's in the middle. Okay, let's build up the front. So here's our Whisper White piece. Next, I've cut a piece of Night of Navy. And this is 3 1/8 by 4 5/8 because I only want a tiny border. I just want that white to pop a little bit. I don't want it to be too wide. I just want it to make the blue pop up. Okay, and then my DSP is 3 by 4 1/2. There we go. And then I'm just going to attach that to the front. Just trying to make sure that my corners here and here, I have the same kind of gap here and here. There. And then let's go back to our naughty tag that made a hole. I'm going to put it on an angle. But at first, I'm just going to cut the ribbon, or the flax ribbon, down to where I want it. Remember I said you won't really know until you get it onto your card. Okay, that looks about right for what I want. Now, I'm going to attach it with the dimensionals. And I'm going to put 6 on. I'm going to put it over that tape as well that we added. I didn't take the back off there, but it is just keeping that white flax tape down. So if you have a little, a little accident with it, it can always be fixed. If it's a stamping accident, your paper can always be turned over and you can stamp on the back. Sometimes I stamp on the back anyway, and then I look and think, which side do I like best? So it's not always because of an accident. Sometimes it's just because, it's good to see which side's best. Sometimes it'll stamp one side a little bit clearer than another, or it might be that it isn't quite straight, but it's always good. Okay, so then I'm going to pop this on a little angle. And who knows now that piece tore? Nobody, only you and me. So here we are. There's my little gift tag and my matching card. So I hope you like that. I hope you'll give that a go. It doesn't have to be, anything really difficult. When you're making a card, you can make a simple card with a matching gift tag, and people will think that's just wonderful because you've taken the time, 1, to make them a card, 2, to make them a gift card, and 3, they match. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.